just feeling young. The streets are restless. My hands shaking like I need it. I don't know why you got me sinking so low. Yeah, yeah. Girl, you got me restless. I got to know, don't keep me waiting. Said I love in motion, let's go. I can be yours. I don't know where we'll go from here. So let's feel what we wanna feel. I don't know where we'll go from here. Let's just take a chance. I can be man.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be out there in arm wrestling world. How you all doing? Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. This is Arm Historian Live. As you can tell by the title, it's gonna be a short one. Originally, I wasn't intending to go live today, but I figured I'll keep the Sunday streak alive and check in with you guys, how you all are doing. Maybe talk about Knuckles Up results a little bit. I know that happened yesterday. Hey Heath, how you doing? Seems to be a quiet day. I have the results right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Heath says I didn't see Knuckles Up results. Well, this is your spoiler alert. I'm gonna be talking about them a little bit. I didn't manage to catch most of it, most of Knuckles Up itself. But I'll catch up in a little while on the full matches. Let me take a quick look at the results. Couple of good matches. Unfortunate about the cancelled matches. Love to see some kind of resolution for that in the future. So yeah, here we are. Knuckles Up 4, I believe. Yeah, 4th edition. For the people, by the people. Jason Merlot versus a Korean fella by the name of Ju Min Kyung. Probably butchering that name, but there you go. Yeah, Jason Merlot took this match 3-0. Yeah, I'd love to see the Korean guys do better than they're currently doing. I'd love to see them score a couple of wins because I haven't seen too much from them so far. There's also a match with Auden coming up, right? Auden and the Korean Hulk, or what's his name? That'll be interesting. Next up, James Wall versus Craig Tillier. James Wall, really nice guy. Met him in real life briefly. Yeah, it looks like Craig took this, but seemed like quite a hard match. 2-3. Haven't seen this one. I'm wondering how many of you actually saw Knuckles Up, because it's not like East versus West where I assume most of you saw it. I'm gonna run a quick poll. I think there's only a couple of people in chat, so results might not be a good representation of reality, but I want to know either way. There you go, poll is up in chat. Hey James, how you doing, man? Says long time no see. How have you been, Arm Historian? I haven't made a live stream in months. Hope everyone has been well. Hey James, yeah, I'm doing okay. It's been a quite tiring day. Like I said, I didn't want to go live at first, but I figured I might as well check in. Kind of a last minute stream. It's also really quiet today. Might be because I announced my stream later and people are assuming I'm not going live. But yeah, a really small crowd today. Normally we're at about 20 people to 25. But welcome back, James. Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you doing? We have a Japanese puller here versus Mateo Rangi Hitamoris. Apparently, Mateo Rangi taking a loss against Toshiyuki Shishido. Yeah, interesting. Let me look this guy up, actually, see if I can find some footage. It's quite impressive if you can beat Mateo Rangi. It's not an easy feat, I think. Let's see if there's something on YouTube we can take a look at. See how the guy actually pulls. Okay, so yeah, he pulled in the last event. Apparently knuckles up. I don't know if the high five arm wrestling would want me to show this on stream, unfortunately. But yeah, I think this is a highlight reel of the guy. So I think it's the guy on the left. Right? Yeah, one on the right here. With the highlights in his hair. And Levano refusing to pin here. James says, it's a beautiful sunny end of summer day here in New York. Knuckles Up is actually right in my backyard. Just a couple hours drive from me, so I always check it out when I can. Did you go see it live, James? Okay, it is a highlight reel, so he's gonna be showing the best stuff, but the guy seems to be quite good, right? Big guy too. So yeah, it would be awesome to see some more of Japanese pullers like himself in future events. Now, I don't know if him participating in Knuckles Up is gonna stand in the way of him potentially getting an invite to East vs West along the road. That'll be interesting. But yeah, awesome. Looks like a big guy, which is quite uncommon for Japanese people. So yeah, like to see more of him. He says, all these big guys are so slow. I've been watching so many lightweight top rollers, the fast guys. Yeah. I noticed that in myself even. You don't even need to go to the top levels. I generally am slower off the go than my teammates, as I'm also quite a bit bigger. James says, no, unfortunately, I had to work, but I caught the live stream in between customers. No worries, man. That's, I understand that work gets in the way of watching arm wrestling events. True story. Okay, so next match. Ryan Bowen versus Andrei Sharkovich. A match that a lot of people have been looking forward to. One of the more hyped matches, in my opinion, of the event. And yeah, Ryan Bowen lost 3-0 against Mr. Sharkovich. I think it was pretty dominant from what I've heard. Seems like about 1/3 of you watched the event. Wonder why it's such a quiet day. Maybe there's another big live stream going on. I'll have to check if Neil is going live too. So yeah, not a lot more to say about this match. I had hoped Bowen would do better. But yeah, there you go. Unfortunate. But he seems to keep getting matches, so there is that. Next match. Robbie Russell versus Svetan Gashevsky. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about Robbie Russell. I don't know if any of you guys know anything about him, but yeah, I have no clue. Shvetan, of course, veritable legend of the sport. Has been getting into it with Engin a little lately. James says, I had Andre winning regardless, but as soon as Ryan announced his injury, I knew he stood no chance. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people have been faulting him for that too. Overtraining so close to a match. Which, you know, might be true. It's hard to know exactly without being Ryan himself, but yeah. Could definitely see some of that happening. But yeah, Robbie Russell, no idea on him, but he got a pin on Shveta, so he can't be bad, right? Next match, another Oceania guy with Mario Tambakis versus Plamen Dimitrov. Plamen Dimitrov, one of the people I've been lucky enough to see do his thing in real life, as well as Mate Warangé and Ryan Bowen. But it seems Mario Tambakis took it pretty easily. Isn't there a weight discrepancy between the two? I thought Mario was heavier than Plamen. Or, like it's spelled here, Palaman. Eric Harlan says, seriously didn't care for any of the matches on the card. Yeah, I can get that. If you're only interested in seeing the actual, like, top 10 in the world pool, then yeah, I get that. Hey, Muscle Bike, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Fearless Spectrum says, I'm back, you guys. Been lifting heavy weights. Looking forward to pack on weight to 175. I wish you luck in your journey there, the Fearless Spectrum. Sure you'll get there. Hey, US Move, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Dan Plexman. Hello. Boss Royale in the house. What's up, man? Muscle Bike wasn't fussed either. It was hardly arm gods after all. Yeah. Can't be arm gods, right? Dan Plexman didn't watch any arm wrestling this weekend. I watched a little. But yeah, didn't have a lot of time this weekend. Had a birthday yesterday. Not my birthday, but a birthday yesterday. And now training in the evening. Then a busy day today. Hey, the Claymore, how you doing? Good to see you. The Commonwealth champion himself, Mr. James Stewart, in chat. My day has been going okay. The Fearless Spectrum. It's been going okay. A little tired right now. But I'm trying to keep the energy high. Devik says, rest day, I want to work out. Yeah, man. It's funny because when I don't arm wrestle for a week or I skip like a table practice, my arms start feeling hungry for the table again. But I guess that means it's like a genuine part of my routine right now, which is good. Boss Royale says, what skill do you train the most? On the table? That's a tough question. Probably right now, setup. Just because the more tournaments I do, like I feel like I have a pretty decent base strength to do something at least on the table with certain people. So I think a lot of the matches are decided during the setup and the ready goes. So we're kind of, especially after nationals, we felt like it was kind of a thing we needed to practice a lot. So yeah, that's what I'm currently training the most, I guess, on the table. But yeah, it always switches up. Devik says, I'm addicted to working out, kinda bad because my tendons are giving up. Yeah, especially in the start. I'm not saying you're at the start of the journey or anything, but especially at the start, it's tough that way. Tashin says, did you see Levant curling a 125 kilogram dumbbell? Rip Jerry. I did not, but that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's still an exciting match to me. It's very hard to get me excited for a Levant match, but the fact that it's like such an anomalous puller like Jerry Caderet makes it a little more hyped in my opinion. The Fearless Spectrum says, I haven't arm wrestled for weeks. Next time I go to practice. That's a long time, man. I don't know if I've gone that long without arm wrestling in the last couple of years. Eric Harlan is talking about an upcoming match. Funny, I saw a friend of mine, let me see if I can find it, sent me a video on Instagram of our national champ in the minus 85 arm wrestling, Barbora. I'll share it with you guys. Yeah, so the guy on the left here is our national champ in the minus 85 kilogram category. He also did quite well in the opens, I believe, but yeah, there you go. Pulling Barbora here at the, what I believe, the Swiss Open. Okay, so I think he's got her, right? But still, yeah. Like if he tries certain things, Barbora can just hold on, and he genuinely seems surprised. But yeah, I think he still has her. But yeah, very interesting that it's kind of a good gauge for me for Barbora's level. Gives me an idea, at least. Compared to guys, I know that's always the question that pops up, like, how do you think Barbora would do versus a guy? James says, the matches I was looking forward to the most were James Wall versus Craig Tullier and Marcio versus Tsanev. The former ended up being the best match in the card, my opinion. If you watch only one, that should be it, yeah. Also on paper, looks to be close. Finally, Marcio versus Tsanev. Now that you brought it up, Tsanev won this 3-0. Yeah, Marcio is... It's unfortunate, right? Because I like Marcio, and at a certain point, he was arguably, what, top 5 in the world? At one point or another in his career. So it's another one of those things where, yeah, he's kind of a legend of the sport, but I don't know if he's quite there still. Not that Jordan Tsanev is an easy opponent by any metric. Devik says, I'm like 2 years in, but if I'm counting all the breaks and everything, it's more like 1 year. Yeah, sure, but don't feel bad about it either, Devix, that there's like periods where you're less active on the table. I think mostly your body remembers everything relatively quickly again. Plus, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to take some breaks. I think if I could rewind time, I would take some more breaks in my arm wrestling practice, just to give myself a little more time for recovery, because I'm dealing with some long-term wrist injuries and stuff, and I think that could have been avoided by just taking more of a time off, especially after tournaments and stuff. So I wouldn't feel too bad. I'm not saying you do, but you know. Eric Harlan says, Arm Historian, check us out on the Arm Wrestling Bus Show, Paul Italia show before November 2nd. Me and my opponent, Clinton Pickering. Okay. Yeah, I'll catch that live stream, Eric Harlan. Feel free to send me like a DM or something in the lead up to it. When you know exactly when it's gonna be. Keep an eye out for it. Mr. Peanut says, Marcio has always struggled with consistency in his game. Gets frustrated, can't make adjustments. Big fan here, but hard to gamble in. Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Peanut. And that's certainly true. I think it's also reflected somewhat in the amount of elbow fouls he sometimes makes. Crazy amount. I don't think I have you blocked, Eric Harlan, but I'll take a look. Like, if I have you blocked, it's probably for a good reason, because I can't even remember ever blocking anyone. I do it so rarely. But I'll take a look. Nope. I only have I do have 3 people blocked on Instagram, strangely enough. But yeah, they're not yours. None of them is you. Hey Spacey, how you doing? The infamous Eric Harlan, yeah. He graces us with his presence from time to time here in chat. Mr. Peanut says, to be fair, lots of people have you blocked. I bet they do. I know something of Eric Harlan. I'm not completely oblivious. Atlantis, how you doing? Delivering like always. Keep safe, man. And maybe try to have some fun along the way. Even though it's work, right? Atlantis says, is the wrist injury also related to the meticulous work that goes into editing your videos with a mouse? I hope not. I have thought about that, believe it or not, before. Like, even in a professional capacity, normally I spend most of my time in front of the PC, outside of editing videos. So yeah. Might play into it? I don't know. I don't think it helps my recovery in any way. I'm just assuming it's a serious question. Yes, of course. How you doing? Good to see you. Says, almost missed this. No fear. I'm still here. I'll probably go for... I don't know. I won't go too long. Like I said, I'm really tired. You might hear it in my voice. But I had a pretty tiring day, so I might not go too long. But yeah. For now, you didn't miss too much. Dan Plexman says... Eric Harlan says, I've done my homework. He's right-handed. Is his best, talking about his upcoming match there, I think. So yeah. That's the event. Knuckles up for all the results of the event. I don't know. I think it's a good card, right? If you're deep into arm wrestling, I don't think it's a bad card at all. I heard pretty good things about the event itself, although I'd love to hear some more opinions in chat if you guys have them, like what did you think of the production value and stuff. Because that's usually one of the first things I look at, even before any of the matches, like how does the event look visually, like how is it presenting itself, how's the lighting, how's the audio, all that stuff. Hey Phil Woody, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. You're having a good Sunday there. Atlantis says also you're always using your mouse hand. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I was serious. Yeah, probably not on recovery. I mean, yeah, I don't think it helps for recovery. Maybe for blood flow. I don't know if that's even a real thing with moving your hand in that way. But yeah, hard to say. I can't stop doing it, so I can't really tell. There's not like I can't do an experiment not touching a computer mouse for a month and seeing how that affects my arm wrestling training. Unfortunately, I'm not rich enough for that. Fearless Spectrum says IDM Instagram plumbers versus arm wrestler. That way you could share the highlights. What? IDM Instagram plumbers versus arm wrestler. Okay. Dan Blacksmith says his worst is better than your best. Eric still talking about the match. Atlantis, yeah, I think you can still buy it. Over at the High Five Arm Wrestling. This is their website. And yeah, I'm assuming you can still buy it. Haven't put their matches online yet. It is $16, so quite steep. But yeah, there you go. Up to you whether you want to support them or not. I'm of course in no way sponsored by Knuckles Up. But yeah, I am a big proponent of having as many leaks out there as possible. It's not a bad thing. Muscle bike farting rainbows as always. Yes, of course, is after this event, I wonder who Jordan can pull outside of East versus West, who he won't run through. Yeah, that's a tough question, right? Yeah. And it's tough, right? Because there's like a group of people, of elite pullers, who probably aren't gonna get an East versus West invite anytime soon. And there's no real way of knowing how they're stacking up, right? Against the top, or what is considered the top. So I don't know, it's just bad overall, right? This bad blood behind the scenes that prevents these people from pulling in each other's event. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a bad thing, a negative thing for the sport in every aspect, I think. I know there's more to it, and I know each side thinks they're right, or I don't know. I've already talked about it at such great length, the whole WF thing. The Fearless Spectrum says Knuckles Up, who's having a super match. I think people in chat were talking about Eric Harlan's super match, but I don't think that'll be at Knuckles Up. Time for some Jerry wagging tongue action. By the way, talking about Marcio, that reminds me. What do you guys think of... I'm currently finishing up a Rise and Fall episode, but what do you guys think of Marcio Barboza as a next one for the Rise and Fall? Too soon? I'd love to know. Mr. Peanut says, Mr. Peanut knows, been watching WAF shows since 77. A true veteran. I'd love to have a conversation with you in real life, Mr. Peanut. If it's as eclectic as your comments often are, then it's bound to be really interesting. But yeah, yay or nay on the Marcio. The rise and fall of Marcio Barboza. Muscle Bikes is not too soon for Marcio, Arm Historian. He has been on the fall since I got into the sport during lockdown and maybe before that even, yeah. Phil Woody says Marcio is the same age of MMT. Yeah, not necessarily too soon as in the same age, but too soon as in, like, did he get enough losses? Neil Pickup says, evening Arm Historian, hope you're well mate, just a flying visit to say hello. I remember that match with Pascal versus Prutnik. Were you there in real life, Neil? Welcome, by the way. Hope you're doing well. I'm fine. Remind me, Neil, if you're still here, are you going live with the fix in a little while? Is it? I think it's your first fix back, right? Or is that next week? Domer, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. James says, yeah, Marcio has been hit or miss since WAL. Still one of my favorite pullers, though. Yeah, for sure. I love Marcio and the way he pulls. Like you said, in the WAL, that was my first real exposure to Marcio. And I loved him there. And then caught up on a lot of his older stuff, too. But yeah, definitely really good puller. But I agree, since the WL has been hit or miss. Oh yeah, Phil Woody says, I'll see you soon in less than an hour. Fix live tonight. Okay, yeah, there you go. I'll probably be stopping way before that starts. Which is like Phil Woody reminds us here in 45 minutes. But yeah, it's good to know that you can go watch the fix a while after this stream will end. I'm doing a quick search here on Marcio to get like a sense of his record throughout the years and how long he's been pulling, stuff like that. Thanks for the link, Phil. Tomer says same with Matt since WAL. Both Matt and Marcio have been having a rough time. Yep. And I did do a rise and fall on Matt Mask. One of the earlier ones even. Matt also one of the people that I did a rise and fall on who contacted me and said he really liked the video. he was going in expecting the worst and then was pleasantly surprised by the actual video, so it's always nice to hear. So yeah, I'm taking a look here at Marcio's record. I'll let you guys join in for a while. Hang on. Here we go. So yeah, I see a lot of early 2000s results so far. I know he's been active in the 90s. For sure, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure, right? Marcio has been around since the 90s. I just need to find in which events. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I can't see him not having competed in the 90s, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So in 95 in the WAF Worlds, in Brazil, of course, he actually participated in the 90 kilogram category, took first place home. And then a lot of wait, no, this is another year, right? Oh no, it's on the right and the left hand. Okay, so yeah, he took number 1 on the left and number 3 on the right at the Worlds in 95. And then yeah, he participated in a lot more Worlds in the 90s. So yeah, it seems like he started at the WAF in 95, or at least only participated in the latter half of the 90s at WAF. Mr. Peanut says, yes, I am the man everyone stomped on the table and loved that fact. This broken body found a family of misfits in worse mental shape than I. I even put up with racist Uncle Harlan, cause family. It's like this the crazy racist uncle, right? Neil Pickup says, I was there live, mate, yes. And in answer to the question, I'm going live with the fixed number 192 in 45 minutes. But the lads confirmed it. Marcio's first Worlds was in 95, Brazil in the -85. He won. Awesome. Thanks so much, Neil. Of course you know this. I found it out in the meanwhile, but should have just waited for your response in chat. Thanks for that. Yeah, awesome. 192 is a crazy number, by the way, for like number of fixed episodes. Maybe I should start numbering my lives. I wonder what I'm up to. I think I must be up to 40 or something, right? Or more, probably. Hard to say. Dan Plexman says, seems Harlan stopped chirping about his dominance when I put 200 on the table. Don't talk unless you're gonna walk the walk. Neil Pickup says he was pretty much everywhere at the time, was in Virginia Beach in 96 and looked great. Okay. So it's fair to say that on the international scene, it seems like he kind of burst onto the scene around the mid-90s. That's what so far, that's what I'm getting here. I might see some evidence to the contrary, but... Mr. Pina says, Marcio, who hails from Brazil, first competed in an arm wrestling tournament at the age of 17, and it didn't take him long to become a household name in the sport. A year later, state national champion. Stop doing my job, Mr. Peanut. No, I'm joking, of course. State national champion. Hey, Lat Rousseau, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Spacey says, Eric, after you lose, can have a comeback match versus me. I'll go easy on you. There you go, Eric. Already people lining up to pull you. Lat Rousseau says, so was Ryan's shoulder injury real or fake? Can we get to the bottom of this conspiracy? I can ask him. I'll ask him on WhatsApp right now. I'm sure he wouldn't mind that much even if I asked him. Yes, of course, says I count 26 live on YouTube total. Yeah, but a lot of them are unlisted or put on member only. Like, yeah, I can take a look at it right now, I think. I can show you guys how many lives I've actually done in reality. Because I think it's quite a bit more than 26. But thank you for taking the time to count. Yes, of course. Should start a wiki, right? Yeah, James, indeed. Competition at the highest level for basically 30 years now. Yeah, that is an amazing achievement. I agree. Yeah, so 77 is what I'm counting here. 77 live streams. A lot of them are private. Nearly all of the old ones I've put on private. It's just that I think when I make them public, there's like 1,000 messages going out to people, and I don't want to ping a bunch of people. But yeah, 77 live streams is what I've done so far. The very first one, named Arm Historian First Ever Live, on the 25th of March 2023. Craziness. A year and a half of live streaming almost. Yeah, that's crazy. Heath will pull Neil Pickup. Awesome. Okay. Here, I'll show you guys. I don't think there's anything on screen. It's like harmful or something that I can't show. So yeah, here you go. 61 to 77 of 77 is what this says. I'll go back some more. a whole bunch of old live streams. The original Fantasy League. So yeah, a lot of live streams. Not quite as much as Neil. But still a lot. He says we might have the same size hand as Neil Pickup. Mr. Peanut says I smoke weed and I know things. That's all I do. That's not about living. Stoner Tyrion Lannister. Latrusso says why I'm private, afraid of getting cancelled because of your wild takes. No. Mostly for, maybe those are misgivings, but mostly for analytics purposes. I feel like in general, when people get recommended live streams, they're not really that likely to click on it, which in turn might reduce the amount of exposure other videos get. It's the same reason why I think I unlisted or made private all of my shorts. I had like 20 shorts on this channel or something, but it felt like they were doing more harm than good. Heath says, yeah, Arm Historian could tone down the race talk a little. I just can't help myself. James says, I don't recall which live stream was the one I first caught, but I know it was at least a year ago. Yeah. There's people here, and I know who, but there's people here that have been around like almost since live stream 1. Tomer asks, does Neil have a big hand? And Levon Slayer makes his very first message ever, responding right away with no. Spacey says that Heath is ducking our super match. Yeah, we saw Heath a little while ago live on stream for the very first time. So be careful what you say, Spacey. Or maybe that's like led to Spacey calling him out, taking a look at him and thinking, yeah, I can handle that. Musclebike says Paul Maiden has bigger hands than Neil. Okay. Mr. Peanut says edit streams to 18 to 22 minutes to maximum views, works for travel time, commuting. A 1 hour video edited gets 3 views, tripling your revenue. Yeah, I get you. I have tried that before, and those videos generally don't do so well either. Or didn't do so well, especially considering the time I have to put into them still. It's not nearly as time consuming as any of my other videos, of course, but like I could either make 10 of those or 1 Rise and Fall episode, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a choice I have to make, like where do I commit the most time? But yeah, I hear you, Mr. Peanut. If someone would like, I wish the channel was big enough where someone would make like fan edits or something of live streams. But unfortunately, of course, I understand. Not at that point. And probably never will be in this niche, let's face it. Eric Harlan says, Arm Historian, sorry to storm you live. Never knew I had so many haters. DM me on your own time so I can share all with you. I did a clip showing the invite contract. It's legit. I know somewhat about you, Eric. I don't ban people from my chat based on views that they might hold. As long as you're civil in my chat, I don't really care. You can be here. Latrusso says, you just need to make some whack-ass arm wrestling shorts with the same 3 songs everyone uses. Maybe, yeah. I've thought about doing like the arm wrestling on the street kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think that's a surefire way to get a lot of views or exposure if you're not a big name already, kind of. Levon Slayer is Granny Soup Ladle. Awesome. I'm doing well, Granny. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see So many of the usual suspects in chat tonight. Tomer says, in arm wrestling, what classifies a big hand? How big is big in arm wrestling? Because I'm sure a small hand in normal life is tiny in arm wrestling. Maybe. Probably there's some correlation between, like, if you have a big hand, like, people with big hands might be interested in arm wrestling more on average than people with slightly smaller hands, if you know what I mean. So yeah, probably there's some connection there. So I am guessing the average hand size of an arm wrestler is probably bigger than that of the general public, but I can't imagine it being that much bigger on average. Godzilla is 109 years old. He's an anomaly. James says, your videos are much better than most of the stuff we see in the arm wrestling space. There are a few good channels. Most are clickbaity, troll, or extremely over-exaggerated training / match edits. Well, I appreciate you saying that. I try to go for quality over quantity, if that makes sense. I just try to create something I want to watch myself, you know what I mean? Something that would interest me myself. And I think there's a lot of other great channels out there. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm like, I'm in some unique position here with the content that I make. I'm under no illusion of that. There's a lot of great arm wrestling channels. New and older ones. Do a great job. Toma says, why Bacho did not compete on the WAF? Steroids? I don't know. Good question, Toma. Do you have a theory on that? Dan Plexman says, never realized you had so many haters. Are you talking to... Yeah, I think you're talking to Eric, Dan. It pays to have thick hand and long fingies. Yeah, that's definitely true. What is your hand measurement? Sorry, I meant face measurement. My hands are actually big. I think I've posted a picture of my hand on Discord. Maybe I can dig that picture up. Maybe I can find it somewhere. Yeah, I actually took a picture of my hand next to a ruler because people were asking for measurements. Damn, Plexman says I've had 13 amputations to 10 fingers and lost majority of meat on my hands, so they are small now and I still kick ass. Hand size is overrated. I definitely agree that hand size in arm wrestling is generally overrated. For sure. Some of us are members of the baby hand community. Let me see if I can find that picture. It'll be a miracle if I do. Does anyone know if Discord's... It's like, hang on. Maybe I can dig it up on Discord. Muscle Bike says, I can confirm Arm Historian has big, thick hands, as one would imagine. Get nice and close with Muscle Bike there. James says, Eastside Arm Wrestling, Performance Enhancing Pancakes, 201 Arm Wrestling. There are some good channels. There's also a lot of trash though. Yeah, as there is in almost every sport. Yeah, I definitely agree that there's a lot of trash. I'm not above saying that. But yeah, the channels you mentioned, for example. I love me some Eastside Arm Wrestling. Al Omega Rich is also really good. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, I think. But his content is really good. Eastside is the man. Yeah, indeed. I agree. I agree. Let's see. I'm trying to dig up this picture. Also the channels of known pullers. Yeah, there's a lot of pullers that are doing a great job. Obviously, there's the really big ones. But I think people like Michael Todd are doing a good job. Phil Woody doesn't follow Eastside, that's fine. Not for everyone, right? Can't really seem to find the picture. Unfortunate. Tomer says from knuckle to knuckle on my hand is 8.3 centimeters. Just measured now. I know my hands are small, but how do they compare to chat? Interesting. Let me see if I can actually get a tape measure here. Can't seem to locate one. Yeah, I've got the next best thing. I've got a ruler. Thomas says, what do you think about PED's future in arm wrestling? Will it ever go away? I don't think so. I don't know how it would ever go away in any sport. So yeah, I don't know. I think, Tomer, what did you say? From knuckle to knuckle on my hand is 8.3 centimeter. Knuckle to knuckle. So outside knuckles without the thumb. Because mine is like, I don't know, what is this, 10.5 or something? Knuckle to knuckle? Never heard of this measurement. Yeah, me neither, Heath. Maybe wrist crease to middle fingertip. Let's take a look at mine. I don't know, about 24 or something? 24 centimeters? Like wrist to finger? Hang on, let me show... I can show it on cam if you guys want. Like from right here. Something like that. Yeah, I got pretty big hands. And what was hang on, Tomer said the knuckle to knuckle one. So you mean, hang on. So this one? Something like, I don't know, 10 or something? Yeah, I am quite tall, Latru, so not super, super tall, but quite tall. James is around 19.5, okay. So yeah, 24 is probably... I think that's what I'm around, right? So probably pretty good, I don't know. From wrist to fingertip, I am 17 centimeters, says Tomer. Awesome, okay. So yeah, there you go, some live arm historian base measurements. Yes, of course, mine is like 18 centimeters, but I'm also like Sasho height, so it's maybe relatively big. Yeah, that does sound pretty big for someone like Sasho. So yeah, I don't think 18 is small at all there in that context. Muscle Bike says, I'm only 18 centimeters, but have medium-sized gloves, so I guess that's about right. Yeah, but your hand is quite thick and strong, Muscle Bike. I remember. James says, I saw RVJ measure his to around 24.5 to 25 centimeters, and he's got a huge mitt. That's cool. Yeah, I actually gripped up with RVJ. To be fair, his hands didn't seem bigger than mine, but apparently they were. Should have done a hand-to-hand measurement with him. Yeah, you're welcome, Muscleback. It's the truth, so... Hey, Paulitalia, how you doing? Good to see you. Said Knuckles Up was epic in person, lots of energy, awesome. Good to hear. How you doing, Paul? Mr. Peanut says, was RVJ drunk? Yes. Well, that's because you have crazy mids, bro, says Granny Soup Label. Yeah, I do have quite big hands, I know this, just from pulling a lot of people. But yeah, I'm assuming there's a lot of arm wrestlers with way bigger hands. Especially, I think my thumb is quite small compared to the rest of my hands. For some reason, my thumb is like lagging behind, and it's one of them. Pretty important, I think, for arm wrestling. From my index finger knuckle to my pinky finger knuckle, I am 8.3 centimeters. I just saw this way of measuring on Google. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's the one. I think I'm 10 on that. That measurement, I haven't heard of it before, but... Ray has also big hands. I remember him comparing to Hermes and they were pretty much the same. Awesome. Yes, of course, it's now you gotta measure your thumb length. It's really small. I'm trying to measure it. It's like hard to... Like, where do you even start? But I think it's about 8 centimeters. Heath says RVJ has 23.5, Devin is 24 and change. Interesting. I know Levant's like 27-ish, 27 centimeters? I find that hard to believe. Like 27 is... I don't know. That's crazy to me. Like in width, like if he spread his fingers and then measuring from pinky to thumb, yeah, I could see him having 27. But from wrist to fingertips, 27? Nah. I refuse to believe that, man. Tomer says, arm historian, you could do a video on arm wrestler's hand size, like when you did arm wrestler's height just with hands. Yeah, I'd love to do it. Tomer, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those metrics that's just like the height thing. I think hand size is gonna be even more tough to get an accurate reading on. Or like an honest measurement. Yeah, yes, of course, it is weird to measure my thumb. Like, where do you start from, right? Something like that? I don't know. Yeah, indeed, James. That's so true. Like, where do you even start measuring, right? Levant Slayer says, I mean, you have fingers a full inch and a half longer than me. How is it hard to imagine someone with 1 inch longer than you? Like, 1 inch is what, 2.5 centimeters? So it's more than 1 inch, right? I don't know, it's just Levant, like, it wouldn't be hard to imagine if that person would be 2 meter 10 or something. You know what I mean? Then I can kind of think like, whoa, crazy, okay. I can kind of see that 27. But from Levant, whose hands I've seen in comparison to other arm wrestlers, I'm like, 27, that's huge. I don't think they're that much longer than a lot of other arm wrestlers, right? They're huge hands, don't get me wrong. They're long and extremely wide, but 27 just seems like a lot. Maybe it is true, I don't know. Tomer says, I have a 6 centimeter thumb. Unfortunately, I have short fingers, but relative to my finger length, a long thumb, yeah. It's funny how that works, right? I have a short thumb, but my fingers are pretty long, I think. Levant Slayer says, short thumb is better. That's a relief. Pronation gets stronger. That's good to hear. Tomer says, Larry Wheel said that John had a similar hand to Levant. I can kind of believe that. He said his thumb was similar. Yeah. I don't know, how long is Levant's hand? Is it really 27 centimeters? I'm looking it up on Google, but I know I'm not gonna find an accurate answer. So wait, hang on, because I think... Okay, so... I think they measured it actually in a video. Let me see if I can find it and then I'll show you guys. I can't show like a lot of it because the guy will probably strike my channel, but... Yeah, let's see. Let's measure your palm, they're saying. Okay, yeah, so it's about 22 centimeters long. I'll show you a still of it, you can see it very clearly. There you go. That makes a lot more sense. Oh yeah, hang on. Had the screen blocked. So yeah, there you go. They actually measure it on video. 22 centimeters. So yeah, I don't know where you're getting your information, Granny, but that seems way overblown, the 27. Do Engin Terzi channel. Think he did measurements before East versus West. 12. Yeah, but his hand is not gonna be like, how long is this ago? 3 years ago. I don't think his hand is gonna grow 5 centimeters in 3 years' time, right? In length. Mr. Peanut says the qualities of the hand have never been properly studied. Now the University of Miami has been donated a system, Tracks, markerless motion tracking systems used by Major League Baseball. Interesting. Tomer says, what do you think on forearm length? I've heard MMT saying a long forearm has more leverage, but I'm not sure if this is true, as a short forearm means more torque, as if the webbing is aligned. How does? I do think, depending on your style, like a certain arm length is gonna benefit you more, but in general, I don't think it matters. Like all these metrics, I don't think matter as much as people say. Of course, they do matter, as like body composition matters in any sport. But I don't think they're the be-all, end-all of everything. And you should decide on, just because I have a long arm, I'm gonna be a top roller or something like that. It's a journey, right? Finding out at which angle you're strongest and what feels most natural to you. Yeah, Latrusso says they matter a lot more for super heavyweight category. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think I'm gonna call this, guys. I'm getting really tired over here. It's been a long day. Expect the Rise and Fall video of Mr. Andrew Cobra Rhodes to drop soon. After that, maybe I'll do one on Marcio Barbosa. I'll see. Thank you all for joining me. As always, every Sunday. I'll be live again next Sunday. I hope you'll be here too. You can get your asses over to one Mr. Neil Pickup if you want. I think he's going live in about 5 minutes. So Bike coming in at the last moment with his £5 super chat. Appreciate it a lot, Muscle Bike. Truly unnecessary, but again, I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Tomer, Phil Woody, US Move, Mr. Peanut Spacey, everyone here that has joined the discussion or that was just lurking. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a good start of your week, guys. Good Monday. Always fun, right? So as always, till next week. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good one.